Hello everybody, today I am going to go over how to play Barbarian and just the basics. So first things first, when you are on the character select screen, pick Barbarian, type a name in, and hit confirm. I already have a maximum amount of character slots, so I'm going to hit back instead, but you guys hit confirm, and then you will have a Barbarian. If you guys are free to play, you only have one character slot. I believe you get 8 or 9 if you have the paid version of the game, so choose wisely. I think Barbarian is a good choice if you're just going for the one. Do keep in mind he is a frontliner class, so if you are looking to play with your friends, make certain one of them is like a support class or something like that. Don't just run all frontliner classes. It is important to have a good mix of characters. First things first here, guys, go to the quest log and hit accept all to get all quests started, and that will help you level up faster, which is important. Next up, you want to go to merchants and go to the squire and go to base gear. Now, Barbarian does not have as many options for base gear as, say, like one of the other characters may have, like, say, Warlock. But that's okay. We are going to go ahead and kit him out properly. So, all of these gear items, the only thing I would change is the 1 Dex Adventurer boots here. So how you do that is you right-click on the heavy boots on the base gear set over here, and then you left click on these adventurer boots. The reason why I'm doing that is because these have more move speed than the other ones, and dexterity is a little bit more useful. It increases your attack speed, so that's a little bit more useful to Barbarian than resourcefulness is, which makes you open up chests and doors faster. Next up, you see these like potions, these bandages. I've already messed with mine a little bit, so let's say it looked like this. What you need to do is left click on each one of these. These supplies are very, very important. Make certain you bring those. And a campfire kit. And then realistically, the only option that is good to go with here is the battle axe as a weapon. You also have quarterstaff, but it's just not good. And it's quite not good for Barbarian's play style, which is do a ton of damage and just face tank players. Also, do make certain to grab the Francisca axe, which does fill out your entire slots, but you definitely want all of these items. Next up, let's go to class, and then you're going to go to perk and skill. Now, I'm level 5. It's going to show level 1 for you here, though, because I've already played a little bit. So you're only going to get this slot, and what I'm going to recommend you put in there is Crush. Now, Crush is kind of like the de facto perk, I should say, that really puts Barbarian aside from other characters. If you have Crush, you can break chests with your axe, and you can break doors with your axe, at least wooden doors. And this is very, very helpful for running people down and running away from people. After that, what I would recommend you put on is likely Robust. There is also another option of, if you are doing an extremely fast build, Savage with no chest armor can actually be good, but that's a little bit more advanced, and this is a beginner's guide. So we're going to put on Robust as a second one. This just gives you more health, so I am going to leave this on for the match, even though you guys would not have this one. When you reach level 5, which you get from just killing stuff in the match, opening chests, extracting, that'll level you up. When you reach level 5, come back here and put this on. When you reach level 10, put on another one. When you reach level 15, put on another one. Then Potion Chugger is also very good. Also a little bit more of an advanced one, but it allows you to heal up much faster after fights. So I highly recommend Potion Chugger as another one. And then Iron Will is also very good. Now, there is kind of a thing here, though, of do I want to min-max my build, and am I doing something very specific here? Which you might want to use some different perks then. But those are 4 good general perks. And then what I would recommend you bring is Rage and Achilles Strike. So what Rage does is you gain 10 strength and 10 vigor, which strength makes you do more damage, vigor makes you have more health, and you gain 9% move speed bonus, which is actually quite a bit. Move speed is extremely important in this game. But while active, you lose 15% physical damage reduction, or PDR, for 6 seconds. Basically, you can run someone down very quickly with Rage and catch up to them very quickly with this, and that's what you use it for. Next up, we got Achilles Strike, which is strike a target, reducing their move speed bonus by 30% for 2.5 seconds. While debuffed, each time the target moves, they receive 1, and it multiplies by 0.5 physical damage. And that in the parentheses there is if you have like plus weapon damage or something like that, that's how much it adds on to it. So it does a little bit of damage, and then on top of that, the move speed is what we are going for. We want to slow other players down, and then what you can do is you can throw like a Francisca axe at them, and that will slow them down. Or if you actually catch up on them with your battle axe, you could hit them with that and slow them down. Because your biggest thing is you do not want people getting away from you as Barbarian. You want them to be right next to you at all times. If they are right next to you, chances are you will win 95% of fights. If they are far away from you, you will lose 100 times out of 100. Now that we've done all of that, I would real quickly want to tell you guys that the battle axe is just trash. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's just not good. The weapon you want to go for is a felling axe. And so I am going to put this on in my secondary slot, actually, just to show you guys how much better it is in game. This is a green one, by the way. It's not a gray one, so it's not the best thing ever to show the difference off. Because, like, look here. Battle Axe Gray, 47 damage. This one does 54 damage. And this one has physical damage bonus. But I'll just show you guys. It has to do with the hit patterns and attack speed and all that jazz. Now let's go ahead and queue into a match of Goblin Caves, and I'll show you guys how I do it. And let's see. This does put me into the over 25 gear score lobbies, which is something you guys need to know about. So if you are below 25 gear score here, which generally means you're in all default setup, then you will be put in lobbies with also all other players under 25 gear score. But if you put on a green item, especially a green weapon, it'll probably put you above 25. However, I'm not really too worried about it on Barbarian, so we're just going to go for it. So yeah, I could be put up against someone who has like 800 gear score right now if that person is queuing right now. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but it's a possibility on the table. So I recommend you guys stay below 25 gear score. And this guy is a Barbarian, except he's going for a completely different build. Well, not even a different build. He just doesn't know what he's doing. And do check other players in the match beforehand. You want to see mainly what tier their weapons are if you're in the over 25 gear score lobbies. If they have like a purple weapon on, that's pretty scary. Especially an orange one would be very scary. Blue's a little bit scarier. Green's eh. And then a white is technically better than a gray, but yeah. This guy's got a blue rapier, for instance. That's a lot of extra damage. That's like 35% extra damage off of what you get on gray, which is a ton. Also, these guys are just smacking me. Okay, the big thing between the axes, though, is that the felling axe attacks just so much faster. And I'm not showing it off properly because you actually have to hit like a squishy target for it to attack faster. Otherwise, it looks like they attack the same speed. And then also the felling axe is shorter range, so there is that. So it plays very well into the build I'm showing you guys, this like Perkins skill setup. And this is using the battle axe. And now let's real quickly use the felling axe. Wow, he ran away from me. And you guys can already see that Barbarian is fairly strong. I mean, if you guys have gotten used to the game by playing like Wizard or something like that, you're going to see a staunch difference when you play Barbarian. Barbarian has got some strength to him. And then use that crush perk and actually don't open chests like I just did. You want to break the chests. That's the best thing to do. And you also want to break the doors, unless you want to close the door behind you to get a player off of it. And you can hit those guys twice with that attack pattern without waiting for them to attack, but I was doing it wrong and I didn't want to get hit. And guys, I always recommend you play slower rather than faster. And my reason for saying that is it's better to get one hit in rather than two if doing the one hit makes certain that you don't ever take a hit from the mobs, because your health does not just regen in this game. You have to sit for a long time to get your health back, and that doesn't get you all of your health back. And then on top of that, these health items are consumable, and especially when you are newer, if you're newer to the game and you don't have gold built up, you don't have money for buying health pots or anything like that. That over there is a mage. So how you fight the mages is you just circle around them and do a ton of damage, especially on Barbarian. And if you guys have watched the Ryan 6 days a week video, you might have seen, hey, the nightmare ones, you can't really kite them because they're a very odd mob, right? That's not actually true. Apparently, you can just circle around them. This is a Shrine of Power, by the way. These are very good. Generally, I leave them unused, though, if I think there will be players nearby, which I don't in this instance. Because it gives you, I think it's extra strength or physical power or something along those lines, and just makes you do significantly more damage. So you can run back to that if you run into a player, and then you can mess them up really badly. Let's swap back to the battle axe here. You guys can see how slowly that attacks. And then also, battle axe, if you attack something that's like right on top of you, it ends up missing, which I really, really hate. And yeah, I have seen people get good with battle axe, and then battle axe is way cheaper on the market if you are good with it and you just want to buy like a purple one or something like that. But generally not the weapon I'd go for. I would just go for like a felling axe. If you are able to buy one from the weaponsmith, I would always buy a felling axe. You guys can see though, the range on it is awful. And this is actually a situation where the battle axe shines in, because hitting spiders with the felling axe, that's like your kryptonite. And so generally what you do is you bring a one-handed weapon with the felling axe, and then... Oh man, I got hit by one behind me as well. And this room is like super mob dense for no reason. It's honestly because it came from the high roller map before and they integrated it into normals. But even in high roller, people were complaining about it being like way more mob dense than the other rooms. Like I just entered there and there were 2 bola slingers right off the bat. So I highly recommend you guys don't enter this room. And this room straight north of me, if you see this one on the map, absolutely do not enter that one. That is the spider room. That room has so many mobs in it. You will just die in there pretty much. It's not a good time. We got Lightfoot boots there, so we're going to want to put those on because movement speed is very, very good in this game. And we got better Lightfoot boots. Okay, we'll put those on. And you might want to keep white and gray items because they don't up your gear score very much. If you want to come back into the under 25 gear score lobbies, if you're going to take my advice and stick to the under 25 gear score lobbies as you are newer and starting out, generally that's a good way to go. Okay, we're going to... And Barbarian, by the way, does heal up faster from sitting, unlike other characters, because it is based off your vigor. And you'll still see that you heal up very, very slow from sitting. So I'm going to cut ahead on this so you guys don't have to watch me sit here forever. And this is fast, by the way, because Barbarian's total health pool is a ton, 158 health. And that's a reason why you might want that potion chugger perk. Even if you are like an extremely good player at this game, you will probably get hit by PvE from time to time. Whether it be from getting overconfident or just the mob spawn variations being not in your favor, like a skeleton axeman, for instance, are significantly harder than the skeleton swordsman. Yeah, we'll go with it. There's a speed shrine over there. That's the blue one, which is very, very good. It helps you run down players very quickly. But I don't really want to fight a goblin bola slinger. They're a lot easier to fight with a shield, but I don't have a shield on. And Barbarian does not start off with a horseman's axe in the squire, but he does start off with a heater shield. By the way, you can upgrade your squire by completing quests. If you complete a lot of quests, your squire gear will get better, so that's another reason you want to complete quests. I will tell you guys, it is a ton of quests. It will take you a while to upgrade your squire gear, but that is a thing. And I'm running towards the middle here. I just got a pendant with 6 max health and 1 agility. Agility makes you run faster, and I believe it also helps you open things faster. But I'm running towards the middle of the map because that's normally where PvP is, and I would like to show you guys fighting some players. Also, when you're fighting PvE, try to only drag 1 mob at once. That's not always going to be possible, but try to do so. That's your best bet in terms of actually living in this game. If you drag multiple things at once, it can be very difficult to kite multiple mobs at once. Now, we got a better battle axe there. We're going to grab that. And let's show you guys how this works with white one. And you can just see it attacks very slow. Like, it's not the worst thing ever, but it attacks very, very slow. And especially when you are fighting a player, that's the difference between life and death. Now, that said, Felling Axe's downside is it's just super, super slow. And so these centipedes, by the way, are a mini boss, and they drop some very good loot oftentimes. They have 2 like high chance jewelry rolls, which jewelry is more expensive than a lot of other things. And how you avoid their little poison spit attack is you crouch and look down with your head. The hitboxes in this game are very specific. I'm going to pull this up, by the way, in case players come for me while I'm doing this. And for his melee, you just back up. See, that's how you avoid his poison attack. Also, I would generally recommend Goblin Caves as the first map you start on. Honestly, you just want to play a mix of all 3 of the maps, but Goblin Caves is probably the easiest one to get started on as a solo. It was designed for solo play, so it's kind of just better for it. And we got a potion of healing out of it, which is good because I don't have any more potions of healing left. And because I don't have potions of healing left, you can see the little red health tick down there. If I sit down, that health won't come back. And if I bandage, that health doesn't come back. That's past the little red health bar. But if I use a health potion, it does. And the biggest thing with the Felling Axe is to make certain you don't miss ever, because that slows down your attack speed a lot. Otherwise, it's like twice the speed of the battle axe. And so if you're like in the middle of a PvP fight and you can hit your shots even with this low range, then you're going to do way, way more DPS. I should have. And I've got to remember to take my own advice here. Oh, that was weird. He was doing 2 attacks at once there. Come on back, buddy. Okay, and now that we've cleared those out down here, we should have some better options. Those are necklaces, both of those, but they're kind of trash ones. I still grabbed them because, honestly, they're more valuable than other loot still. And also, killing higher tier mobs is better for XP. They give significantly more XP. That's the elevator. That is an extract. And so, yeah, well, we'll just go ahead, run on up, and get on out of here. You can tell what an extract is by the blue little markings on the map. There's a wizard on it, so we're going to have to mess him up pretty bad. He's dead. Give me his loot. Oh, it's literally a loot. I was saying L-O-O-T, but he dropped an L-U-T-E, which isn't worth very much. Okay, we are leaving, and this is how you extract on this map. You go on this elevator, or you go up blue staircases after, I believe it's around 3 minutes. They generally open up. And yeah, and the big thing is you do want to PvP other players on Barbarian, because generally you will win, but the way you PvP on this character is literally just running straight into someone. So real quickly, I'll show you guys how to sell your stuff. So first things first, if you have items you would like to keep, go ahead and put them in your stash right over here, which is on the stash tab. Now, I don't want to keep that. I don't think I want to keep any of this stuff, really. And I'm going to go back into the over 25 gear score lobbies. Oh, we'll keep the Lightfoots. That's a good example. Okay, and now we'll sell this, this, and this. Before you do any of that, though, I would recommend you go over here to the quest log and you try and fill all items that you may have found in the run. And it is good to look through here and see what items you should be looking for, because these will level you up way faster. And if you are a paid player, I would recommend, if you have an item that you need to find looted in the match and not buy, which it will say right here, by the way, guys, it says looted on the loot state. If you need that and you find it on another character and you're a paid character, you can put it in your shared stash and that will work for you. Oh, we just completed this guy and this gives us 25 XP, which is kind of nice. It's like half a level. And the levels do get harder as you go up in level. So now I'm up to level 8 between doing that round and finishing that. So we're going to sell all this stuff off. We got 73 gold. And then this goblin ear I know gets used for a quest later. So I'm holding on to that. You need a ton of them. So that one takes quite a while to complete, especially because I don't play much goblin caves. Oh yeah, and here's one more thing. Potions of invisibility you cannot use on Barbarian, by the way, which is because you need 15 knowledge. You can use them if you get up to 15 knowledge. It's not worth stacking knowledge for that. Invis pots are very, very strong on Barbarian, but it's not worth stacking them for that. Now, real quickly, before you run another match, go back to the Squire, and then see how the items are put in here. And what I generally do is I just take off all of these. And then I just go, bam. And we do want campfire equipped as well. I don't think I did that before. Let's do that. And we are looking pretty. It looks like it just didn't stick before what I did on here. So let's set that again. And I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, and if you take them off in between rounds, you can get even more from the Squire. So I generally like to do that, and you'll end up with like a little pile in your inventory, but you will end up using that stuff. Okay, let's run it back on Goblin Caves. I'm going to try and show you guys some PvP. And this game's PvE honestly isn't very hard if you know how to play the game even just a little bit on Barbarian. It's a lot harder on something like Wizard. But the PvP is what makes things dangerous, because you'll just be fighting the PvE and you might have gotten hit once or twice, right? And then another player comes in and jumps you, or you're sitting down to get your health back, and then another player comes in and jumps you. This guy just brought in a blue Regal Gambison so he can get in the over 25 gear score lobby. I don't see his desire. I don't get why. Maybe he's free to play and that's all he's got, because if I'm looking for high gear players, I generally run High Roller, which costs a 100 gold entry fee, but you do need to be a paid account for that. Okay, and we are back. And that lobby didn't have anyone with any like particularly good gear on, which is quite normal for the even over 25 gear score lobbies. It just usually happens. But every once in a while, if you're over 25 gear score, you will run into players in a full set of purples. Oh, which reminds me, I need to explain the gear rarities in this. Okay, this is a skeleton axeman, by the way. You dodge him by crouching and looking down and circling around the right. So the gear rarities goes gray, white, green, blue, purple, orange, yellow. Those are the gear rarities. And uniques, which are yellow, you can't even see in High Roller. You're not allowed to bring them into High Roller, and you also can't find into normals. I mean normals. You can't find them in normals either, and frankly, it's a good thing that those aren't allowed in there, because the unique items are like 100,000 gold. They are absurdly rare. Wow, we got another axeman. And by the way, axemen are like the hardest skeletons. And we just want to kill him fast before he gets his next shot in. What was I gonna say? So yeah, the unique items, it's good they aren't in normals lobbies, because they're just very, very strong, and they're so absurdly rare. And what people were doing was just bringing them into the normals lobbies and Timmy stomping with them, and it just wasn't a good time, because basically what they'll do is on top of your normal damage, they'll add something like an extra 20 magic damage, and they already do the highest base damage of any weapons in the game. It's just a lot, especially when you're already kitted out with a strong kit. Think of someone with 10 times your health pool and doing 5 times as much damage as you. and they're probably a little bit more experienced. Like, is that a fun time to play against them? No, not a good time. And even these big chests you can break with your axe, by the way. You just gotta hit it a couple times. And then bam. Some ale. And you can see there how much slower my attack speed is and how much it hurts on the felling axe to miss. I say as I miss again. But once you get used to it, which honestly I am not the best barbarian player, but I definitely know the basics. Once you get used to it, you will be all good and you will do a ton of damage. Ceremonial dagger we need for a quest. We'll break down this door. Once again, that room to the east is the spider room. I recommend you never go in there. This chest is open. Where's the roguey boy? By the way, press X to put your weapon away, and that will allow you to run faster because your weapon slows down your move speed while you have it out. You can also jump while you're pulling it out to retain your fast move speed, and that's what you generally do for PvP encounters. So you'll go... and then you'll immediately try and chop their head off. Because you got to be quick to catch these guys. Okay, not this way. I think this guy went this old direction. Yeah, here. So what you'll do is put your weapon away. This guy doesn't really hit me. Then you press that. This is a fighter, so he's got some... This guy is a little bit more of a frontline character. And you just want to get right up in his face and just face tank him like that with felling axe and make certain he can't get away from you. And this guy was way better geared than I was. So yeah, that shows you the power of Barbarian right there. By the way, that guy didn't know how to play the game. That guy is not like a brand new player. It's just Barbarian in that method was a bad matchup for him. So he got a little bit rolled. Now, I need bandages. Bandages are for healing up that red health very quickly, and I am definitely low enough on health that I want to heal it up quickly. And I also hear the extract coming down, but I kind of want to loot this guy fully. I think it's going back up again now, too. I'm going to have to wait for the next one. Ooh, that's got 3 magical healing. That's still worth something, if I remember correctly. And yeah, the reason why you want to kill players is because you can take their gear, you can take the treasure they've found, all that jazz. And Barbarian is very good for learning PvP, guys. I would say, honestly, the best character for learning PvP. But he does PvP differently than all the other characters because his whole goal is to get up in someone's face and really face tank them. And then if you're playing with teammates, what they should be doing is, we call this a buff ball comp, is they should just be basically supporting you. So if they have 2 or 3 people trying to come after you, they're trying to keep those guys off of you while spamming heals on you. And then your job is just to hack and cut through them as fast as possible as a Barbarian. And if you die in the process, you die. That's pretty much how it goes. Also, this is a good time to show off what the campfire does. Campfire makes you heal up much faster while sitting down. It's like way, way faster. And then on top of that, if you're a character like Wizard or Cleric or something like that, it'll help you recharge your spells faster. So if you're like Cleric or Wizard, and there is even like a couple of active skills on this character that you can recover that are only usable one time in a round normally, that will recover from doing this. And you can see like a little white bar go beneath them as they're moving up, and this will make it go up much, much faster. So generally you carry a campfire for like your cleric buddy or something like that, but you can see I'm full health now, and it will recover health that is outside the red bar when you are using a campfire like that. Crystal balls aren't worth very much. Let's see what else this guy had. We'll take his treasure. I mean, treasure sells for more than gear pieces do, so if it's same rarity, you generally want to go for treasure, and the smaller treasures are worth more than the bigger treasures per slot. So if you're really trying to min-max it, that's the way you go. Okay. Wait, was that magical healing on that ritual robe? No, it's max health. I think ritual robes are actually worth a lot, so... and I'm saying worth a lot, as in worth a lot on the market. I wanted that diamond. Yeah, let's just get rid of this guy. Let's see if I'm right. I might not be. I'm not very up to date on what items are expensive for druids, because I haven't played very much since they added the druid items in. And you can see there I missed, and then it took me a ton of time. But you could see right there what I was doing with the PvP and what I was going for. Like, I think I did fairly well there, just staying up in his face once I actually decided to engage, and then just staying right on him. That's what you do with the felling axe. With a battle axe, you can stay a little bit more at range and do the thing where you kind of waddle back and forth with him. But honestly, I don't like that playstyle, especially with these perks and skills on. Basically, you just want to press Q, run into them, hit them in the head, while also pressing E to make certain they can't get away from you and slow them down, and just kill them right then and there. Don't let them get away. Stay on top of them. Okay, and that's it, guys. If you guys liked this video, make certain to like and subscribe for more. It means a lot to me, guys. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.